Hey guys, I am back and just arrived, just right now out of the mailbox. We've got Monthly Knife Club, Onyx level for November 2019. Pretty excited to see what we've got in the package. So let's see what we've got in the package. Look, I managed to do it without cutting through the card this time. Awesome, huh? So, Monthly Knife Club has a lot of different plans available. I subscribe to the Onyx Collector's Plan because, in my opinion anyway, this is the best plan. Gets you a high-quality, higher-end knife, and it always pays for itself and then some. The other plans here, they include, multiple items, but if you're just looking for a subscription for a good, high-quality, higher-end knife, I feel like Onyx is the way to go. The Onyx package is $119 plus shipping and handling every month. Now, what Monthly Knife Club does that's a little bit different is they don't just give you an MSRP. What they do is they shop around the internet and they find the prices, the price range. So, this is actually what you would find this knife that's in here. They found it online for $188 to $267. So rather than just saying, the company's MSRP is this, they tell you, look, we've been able to find this knife online in this price range, which is cool because it's different than just saying, well, the MSRP, because we all know MSRP is not what you're going to find it for online. You're going to be able to find it for cheaper than that. So I really love that they do this. So this month we've got another Kizer, the Kizer Wakulla satin finish S35VN and satin finish titanium handle. And this is on every card if you're interested in Monthly Knife Club. Just, there you go. All right, so there you go. And I suck at opening these boxes every time. So, as always, the higher end Kizers come in the fancier packaging with your zippered, padded little pouch. What do we got here? Some extra screws. Okay. Two different. No, they're the same. Two extra screws. You've got your little Kizer information and warranty stuff. And then always a microfiber cloth that we can just spread out right here. Since I'm doing this video on my very messy model work desk here. And here is the knife. You know what? I'm not sure I like this one. Well, it's shiny. It's got a nice weight to it. Something about this just doesn't say Kizer to me. I don't know. Perfectly centered, of course. Milled in design on the handle. Very, very satin finish. It's really nice. As always, fit and finish on, even on their lower end, fit and finish on Kizers are great. Very interesting clip. I see what those screws are for now. So I don't know if the camera is going to see this. The screws, the clip, is actually held in, it's screwed from under the scale. And it looks like those screws are the clip screws. So your clip is not movable at all. It is tip up right hand only, which is just fine for me, not fine for others. I gotta be honest. So there's something about the look of this that says, and so my brain's struggling here. My brain is fighting because I know this is a high-end Kizer knife, but something about the look of it says cheap knife. Says something about the way it's done says gas station knife. I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've never seen a Kizer like this. It's just, I'm not sure, but all right, we'll keep going though. So maybe it's because you don't often see titanium. Like, well, I shouldn't say that. There are people that do like a polished titanium, but I don't know. It just has a certain look to me. It is lightweight though. It's got some nice accents on the pivot. Like I said before, fit and finish is really good. This gives you a little bit of grip, not a lot. I have a feeling this is not intended to be a hard-to-use knife or anything though, so it's okay. These little, I think this is intended to be a front flipper maybe? Oh, that's actually pretty slick. That works really, really well. And you've got an inset liner lock, which is actually really easy to get your thumb on. Very smooth, so it's got to be bearings. Oh, huh. That's not good. There we go. Got to be bearings in there, just because of the action is so smooth. So I'm already seeing too that the design of I'm not digging the design of this knife. Now, I love Kizer. Kizer puts out great stuff. I think that this is a very specific design. You've got to really like this design. The way I hold the knife, if I engage the thumb stud here, these little nubs, the front flipper nub, and then following through hits my finger, which prevents the knife from fully opening. So you very consciously have to kind of hold your hand back a little bit to use the thumb stud. And, you know, when you've got your ridiculously stupid big hands like mine, there's not a lot of real estate on the knife to do that. So, now the front flipper, though, and you can see, can you see the texturing there, the jimping that they put on there? So you've got a great grip. The front flipper works awesome. It works really nice. Very nice blade shape. And the satin finish all the way across the whole thing looks really, really nice. Just some, let's just I mean, that's a beautiful satin finish. And not a lot of markings on the blade to distract you from the look of it. So it's a very nice, I mean, collection. I don't know. I'm still struggling. Love the blade. Don't love the handle. It doesn't give a lot of, again, for my hands, it just, I have to purposely hold the blade forward in my hand, which ends up with hand not on anything. I feel like this was not a knife designed for big hands, which is okay, because you know what? There are people with small hands. There are knives designed for big hands, knives designed for small hands. This is just not one designed for big hands. It's a stylish knife. It's obviously designed with a little bit of art to it, a little bit of, you know, design. It's designed with design, but not everybody's going to love every knife. Materials-wise, obviously, it's a high-end knife. I mean, this is the struggle in my brain that I keep talking about. It's the logical. I know that it is a high-end Kizer. I know that we've got premium materials, S35VN steel, full titanium. But it's just the, you know, people like what people like, and people don't like what they don't like. And this is one of those, even though I know this is a premium knife, it's not doing it for me this month. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of times I'll unbox a knife that I love, and I'll get comments from people where they're like, well, I just don't like it. And that's where the personal preference of knife collecting comes into it. Doesn't mean the knife is bad. It's not doing it for me. So, there could be people watching this video right now that love this, that love the way it looks, love the design, want to get their hands on it. And that's, that's where that's why collecting is collecting, because not everybody's going to agree. If you take a look right there, if you can see that see where the screw for the inset liner lock kind of anchors into this frame, the scale. Very, it's noticeable if you're looking for it, but otherwise it just sort of disappears. So it keeps the knife really slim, though, to have the inset liner lock rather than to have, a more obtrusive frame and then a liner. I love thumb studs. It's just kind of a pain for me to have to use the knife that way. Why don't we give the blade a try? Okay, yeah. So in typical Kizer fashion, I mean, when it comes to performance, it's got it. Let's do our pull through. Very nice. No effort required. And let's do our slice. Also very nice. No effort required. I mean, just kind of goes right through. We can pop it right through the cord. So blade comes very sharp, perfect, ready to use right out of the box. Get a shot of our lock up there. And centering, no problem. Still nice and smooth. No blade play after whacking it around a little bit. So mechanically, the knife is great. This Kizer just happens to be not my speed. That's all. Still, nice collection piece, And honestly, while it's not my favorite Kizer, that front flipper action is great. If you're into front flippers, and some of us are, some of us aren't, excellent mechanics with the front flipper. I just wish that I could use the thumb stud a little bit better. It's also, the thumb stud is also very, very forward towards the pivot. I think that if the thumb stud was a little bit further back, it would give you a slightly better leverage, but it is what it is. The front flipper is great. It's awesome. How about some ratings on this guy? So, and I'm gonna, I've tried to be very fair with not letting my personal opinion, color the ratings on this. But so starting where we always start with originality and departure from previous designs, I'm giving this a 4. It really does not look like other Kizers to me. It has a very original kind of look, different from what they've shown us in the past. I feel like I've seen this look in some other knives, but overall, different kind of design. Fit and finish, of course, I have yet to see a Kizer that doesn't get like a 4.5 to 5. So fit and finish gets a 5 on this. Function and mechanics, I toyed with giving it a lower score, but I'm giving it a 5 because, for the people that can work the thumb stud, I'm sure they'll enjoy it. For people that do the front flipper, that's what they're going to do. But it gives options, and, whatever method you use, the mechanics are awesome. So I'm going to give it a 5 there, too. Practicality and utility, I'm giving it a 4. Mainly because you've got your single point mounted clip. There's no way to switch that around, for left-handed people or those who enjoy tip down carry. And it would be nice if you had an easier option for thumb stud versus front flipper, and they didn't take the hand size into account. But it's a good size for EDC. It's very lightweight, very slim, so, won't knock them down any farther than 4. Production out of the box standards, of course, Kizer, as always, gets a 5. This knife is ready, razor sharp right out of the package. Comfort and feel, though, I had to really, give it a knockdown, and I had to go with a 3 because it's really just not a comfortable knife to hold. So number one, this clip just does not, it doesn't feel good. I mean, it's right there. I can feel this little knobby end. It doesn't feel right. And again, I'm judging off of my hands. So maybe somebody with smaller hands has a more comfortable experience with this knife. But I'm just letting it from my experience. It's just average. At least it's not below average, but it's, there are much more comfortable to hold Kizers in the world. So going with a 3. For cool factor, I'm giving it a 3.5. Once again, I think there are much more exciting Kizer designs. I feel like this one kind of looks like a cheaper run knife with the design. I don't think taking this thing out of your pocket is a real kind of cool conversation starter. I don't think it's the kind of knife that people are going to be like really wanting to know about. Yeah, it's a Kizer, but it's just, I don't feel like it's one of their greatest designs. For quality materials, we're going to go up to 4.5 though. There isn't a whole lot of places you can go with an S35 VN blade and a full titanium handle. The only way this thing could increase is if they gave it like a slightly higher, better quality steel. And there's not a lot better out there, going up from S35 VN. There are a couple steels that I could think of that I might like to see on this, but I mean, it's almost right there at the top of everything with materials, so pretty good there. Customizability, actually I gave it a 4 because there are some things you could do to this that would really set it apart. Now, while I don't like this, there's a lot of room for whether you wanted to Cerakote this, whether you wanted to anodize this to make it personalized. There's lots of space on the blade. You could engrave it. You could Cerakote it. You could do some grinding and reprofiling on it. So this does have some customizability. There's a lot of space for you to make this your own knife if you wanted to. So it got high marks there. Collectability value, I put it 3.5. It is a Kizer. It is a higher end Kizer. It's also full production, so I don't anticipate this really climbing up in value a whole lot in the future. Value of ownership, I also gave it a 3.5. I don't personally see this. I don't view this as based on a lot of the other factors as being much more than a collection queen. I just think there are a whole lot of knives that would make better EDC carries. I don't think it's got a lot of use in a heavy use or a hard use category. So short of keeping it as a collection piece, I don't see it. I don't see a lot of people doing that. I'm sure there will be some people that want to actually carry it, but I see limited options for it. As for the value to price ratio, though, considering the materials, considering the production standards and everything, I'm going to give it a 4 because you do get a lot of knife for your money. Mechanically, it's really well done. Production standards are very high. You're getting great premium materials. And this is another one where I will say, if this had another name on it, Benchmade, Spyderco, Zero Tolerance, for the same design, same materials, you'd pay 2 to 3 times as much. So the value to price ratio gets a 4. So the total score is a 49. Now, if we average that out, our overall average score comes to a 4.08, which is actually a lot higher than I thought this thing was going to end up with as I was going through my ratings. which actually made me happy too, because it meant I wasn't being too critical on it, just based on the fact that I personally don't like the design. Kizer is a great brand. They put out great designs, great knives. I love Kizer. I just don't love this particular knife. I'm not faulting Monthly Knife Club for this either, by the way. This is still a great deal for this knife to add to a collection. And, it is a nice addition to the collection. It's just not one that I'm going to carry, is all. I might, fidget spinner, factor, just play with this front flipper, because the front flipper is awesome. But I don't know. Anybody actually have firsthand experience with this guy right here? I'd love to know what you think of it, if you've carried it around and how you like it and stuff. That would be cool. So that is our Monthly Knife Club Onyx knife for November 2019. Looking forward to hearing your opinions on this knife, whether they match my opinions or not. I'm really interested in what everybody thinks of this one. As always, guys, you are all absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will be back again real soon.